everyone. Welcome back to Sidekick English, the podcast where English is your superpower, and we are your sidekicks. I'm Maya.
And I'm Theo. If you want to learn everyday English in a fun and easy way, you are in the right place.
Before we start, don't forget to subscribe to our channel, like this video, and share it with a friend who wants to learn English too.
Yes, hit that subscribe button right now so you don't miss our next episodes. Okay, today we're talking about something super useful, everyday English phrasal verbs.
Phrasal verbs are those fun little combinations like wake up, hang out, run into. You hear them all the time in movies, series, TikToks, everywhere.
But that can be confusing because the meaning is not always clear from the words. So today, we'll make them simple and we'll make them stick in your brain.
We'll talk about real situations, simple conversations, and we'll explain the phrasal verbs in easy English, step by step.
And as always, you can just relax and listen, no stress, no grammar test at the end.
Let's get started with our first situation, mornings, or the daily fight between you and your alarm clock.
The alarm clock always wins.
Not always. Sometimes I win by turning it off and going back to sleep.
Okay, let's see some morning phrasal verbs. Imagine this.
I need coffee already.
Same. All right, here we go.
So it's 7 a.m. The alarm rings. What do? You wake up.
Wake up means you stop sleeping. Your eyes open. Your brain tries to work. Sometimes it fails.
For example, I wake up at 7 a.m. on weekdays, or I wake up late on Sundays.
Then some people get up. Get up is when you leave the bed. So wake up is for your mind. Get up is for your body.
I often wake up at 7, but I get up at 7:30. I stay in bed and scroll on my phone.
Same. So wake up, then get up.
Next, you need to put on your clothes. Put on is a very common phrasal verb. It means to place clothes or accessories on your body.
For example, I put on my jeans. I put on a t-shirt. I put on my shoes. You can also put on makeup, put on glasses, put on a jacket.
So a small morning story with these verbs. I wake up at 7, I get up at 7:15, and I put on my favorite hoodie.
Then you probably need to turn on the lights. Turn on means start a machine or device. Lights, TV, phone, laptop, air conditioning.
For example, I turn on the light. I turn on the TV. I turn on the coffee machine. Because coffee is life.
And when you finish, you turn off the device. Turn off is the opposite.
I turn off the light when I leave the room. I turn off my laptop when I go to bed.
So you wake up, you get up, you put on your clothes, you turn on the lights, and then you try not to fall back asleep in the shower.
Don't forget this next one. Pick up. In the morning, you can pick up your phone from the table. Pick up means to take something from a surface or the floor with your hand.
For example, I pick up my keys, I pick up my bag, I pick up my phone. Simple, right?
Okay, that was the morning. Let's move to the next part of the day, going out and moving around.
Now imagine you're leaving home. Maybe you have school, work, or you just want to go out and get some snacks.
First, you need to put on your shoes and maybe your jacket. We already saw put on. Then you go out.
Go out means to leave your home to do something, to meet friends, to go to a restaurant, to go to a party, or just for a walk.
For example, I go out with my friends on Friday nights, or I don't go out much during the week.
On your way, you might run into someone. Run into is a very useful phrasal verb. It means to meet someone by accident, not planned.
For example, I ran into my old teacher at the supermarket. Or I always run into my neighbor at the bus stop.
You can also bump into someone, and it means the same thing. But today we'll focus on run into.
Let's say you go out to meet a friend for coffee. Your friend says, "Can we meet up at 3 p.m.?" Meet up means to meet someone at a place and time, usually planned.
For example, let's meet up in front of the cinema, or we meet up every weekend to study.
So, you go out, you run into your neighbor, then you meet up with your friend at the cafe. You sound supernatural in English already.
Now here's another good phrasal verb, hang out. Hang out means to spend time with someone, usually in a relaxed way.
For example, I like to hang out with my friends after class. Or, we hang out at the park on Sundays.
You don't have to do anything special, just being together is hanging out.
When you're done, you go back home or you head back home. Go back and head back mean you return to a place.
For example, I go back home at 6, or it's late, let's head back.
So your day can sound like this. I go out at 2, I meet up with my friend, we hang out at the mall, and then I head back home at 7.
Let's continue with some home and housework phrasal verbs, because unfortunately, life is not only coffee and hanging out.
At home, you probably need to clean up sometimes. Clean up means to make a place clean and tidy.
For example, I clean up my room on Saturdays. Or, please clean up the kitchen after you cook.
You can also tidy up. It's very similar. You put things in the right place, you organize. Clean up is more about dirt and mess. Tidy up is more about organization, but people often use both together.
Another one, wash up. In British English, wash up often means wash the dishes. In American English, people say do the dishes, but wash up can also mean quickly wash your hands and face.
For example, I wash up after dinner, or go wash up before you eat.
Then you need to take out the trash. Take out means to move something from inside to outside.
For example, I take out the trash every night, or can you take out the recycling?
You can also take out your phone from your bag. It's the same idea, move something out.
After cleaning, you can put away your things. Put away means to place something in its usual place so it's not in the way.
For example, I put away my clothes in the closet, or put away your books when you finish.
So here's a little housework story. I clean up the living room, I wash up the dishes, I take out the trash, and then I put away my laundry.
You sound like the perfect roommate.
I know. But in reality, I clean up 2 minutes before guests come.
Same. Now let's move to phrasal verbs for studying and working, because many of you are students or young professionals.
When you study or work, you often need to look for information. Look for means to try to find something.
For example, I'm looking for my notebook, or I'm looking for a new job, or I look for information online.
Then sometimes you need to look up a word. Look up means to search for specific information, usually in a dictionary or on the internet.
For example, I look up new words in an online dictionary, or I looked up the restaurant on Google Maps.
So, look for is when you try to find something general, like your keys or a job. Look up is when you search for specific information, like a word or an address.
Next, you may write down notes. Write down means to write something on paper or type it somewhere so you don't forget.
For example, I write down new vocabulary in my notebook, or write down my number.
When you have a lot of work or study, you might fall behind. Fall behind means you are slower than other people or slower than the schedule.
For example, I fell behind in class when I was sick. or don't fall behind on your homework.
To fix this, you can catch up. Catch up means to reach the same level as other people again.
For example, I studied all weekend to catch up, or let's meet and catch up on the project.
When you are really focused, you stay up late to finish something. Stay up means you do not go to bed. You remain awake.
For example, I stayed up until 2 a.m. to finish my essay, or I can't stay up late tonight.
Please sleep, everyone. Sleep is important.
So here is a study story. I fell behind in my English class, so I looked up vocabulary, wrote down new words, and stayed up late to catch up.
That is basically half of university life in one sentence.
Now let's talk about phrasal verbs for communication, because you use them all the time in conversations.
Imagine you have a problem, and you need to bring it up. Bring up means to start talking about a topic.
For example, I want to bring up something important. Or, she brought up my birthday plans.
Next, your friend doesn't understand something, so you explain it, or you break it down. Breakdown in this context means to explain something step by step, in a simple way.
For example, can you break it down for me? Or, the teacher broke down the problem into small steps.
When you have a decision to make, you might think it over. Think over means to consider something carefully before you decide.
For example, that's a big decision. I need to think it over. Or, think it over and tell me tomorrow.
Sometimes people argue or disagree. Then they make up. Make up can mean to become friends again after an argument.
For example, we had a fight, but we made up. Or, they always make up after they argue.
Another use of make up is to invent something that is not true. For example, he made up a story about being late.
So context is important. But today we focus on the be friends again meaning.
Then there's get along. Get along means to have a good relationship with someone, no big problems.
For example, I get along with my coworkers. Or, my sister and I get along well.
A very useful phone phrasal verb is call back. Call back means to return someone's call.
For example, I missed his call, so I called him back. Or, I'll call you back later.
Also, get back to someone. It's similar. You answer later, usually by message or email.
For example, I'll get back to you tomorrow with an answer.
So here is a little communication story. I brought up a problem, my friend broke it down for me, I thought it over, and later I called her back and we made up.
And now we get along again. Happy ending.
Let's move to some phrasal verbs about technology and social media, because we all spend way too much time online.
When you open YouTube, you log in to your account. Log in means to enter your username and password to access a website or app.
For example, I log into my email every morning, or I can't log in, I forgot my password.
When you finish, you log out or log off. Both mean you exit your account.
For example, don't forget to log out on a public computer.
On social media, you scroll down the page. Scroll down means you move the screen down to see more content.
For example, I scroll down on Instagram for hours, or scroll down to see more videos.
You can also scroll up, which is the opposite direction, but we all know we mostly scroll down.
When you like something, you might hit like or hit the like button, and you subscribe to a channel.
For example, I subscribe to channels that help me learn English. I think you should subscribe to Sidekick English.
I agree. Then, when your internet stops working, you might need to turn off and turn on your router again.
For example, I turned off the Wi-Fi and turned it back on, and it worked.
You also back up your files. Back up means save a copy of your data in another place.
For example, I back up my photos on the cloud.
And if your computer completely dies, you might set up a new one. Set up means to prepare something so it's ready to use. A device, an account, a meeting.
For example, I set up a new email account, or I need to set up my new phone.
By the way, you can set up a meeting with a friend. For example, let's set up a call for tomorrow.
So, your tech day. I log in, scroll down, subscribe to Sidekick English, back up my files, and then log out.
That is a perfect online day, in my opinion.
Now let's look at some phrasal verbs for feelings and problems. Because life is not always easy, but English can help you talk about it.
Sometimes you feel tired or sad. You say you're down. Your friend can cheer you up. Cheer up means to make someone feel happier.
For example, I was sad, but my friend cheered me up. Or, let's watch a funny movie to cheer you up.
You can also calm down. Calm down means to relax after being angry, excited, or nervous.
For example, I was very angry, but I calmed down after a few minutes. Or, take a deep breath and calm down.
Another important phrasal verb is give up. Give up means to stop trying.
For example, learning a language is hard, but don't give up. Or, I almost gave up, but I continued.
On this channel, we never give up on English.
Another one, get over something. Get over means to recover from something emotional, like a breakup or a bad experience.
For example, it took me time to get over my ex, or I still can't get over that embarrassing moment.
You can also get over a cold, meaning you recover physically.
When problems happen, they can come up. Come up means appear or happen unexpectedly.
For example, sorry I'm late, something came up at work, or a problem came up and I had to stay.
Then you deal with the problem. Deal with means to manage or handle a situation.
For example, I had to deal with a lot of emails today, or we need to deal with this problem now.
So a little emotional story. Something came up at work. I was stressed, but I calmed down, dealt with it, and my friend cheered me up, so I didn't give up.
That's like a mini therapy session with phrasal verbs.
Okay, before we finish, let's quickly review some of the phrasal verbs from today, and then we'll give you a small challenge.
Here are some of the phrasal verbs we saw today in simple groups: morning and daily routine, wake up, stop sleeping, get up, leave the bed, put on, wear clothes, accessories, turn on, start a device, turn off, stop a device, pick up, take something with your hand, going out in social life, go out, leave home for fun or activities, run into, meet someone by accident, meet up, meet someone by plan, hang out, spend relaxed time with someone, head back/go back, return to a place, home and chores, clean up, make a place clean, tidy up, organize things, wash up, wash dishes, or quickly wash yourself, take out, move something outside, trash, etc. Put away, put something in its usual place. Study and work, look for, try to find something, look up, search specific information, write down, note something, fall behind, be slower than others, or schedule, catch up, reach the same level again, stay up, not go to bed, remain awake, communication, bring up, start talking about a topic, break down, explain step by step, think over, consider carefully, make up, be friends again after an argument, get along, have a good relationship, call back, return a phone call, get back to, answer later, tech and online life, log in, enter your account. Log out/log off. Exit your account. Scroll down. Move the screen down. Back up. Save a copy of data. Set up. Prepare something to use. Subscribe to. Follow a channel. Feelings and problems. Cheer up. Make someone happier. Calm down. Relax after being upset. Give up. Stop trying. Get over. Recover from something. Come up. Appear unexpectedly. Deal with. Handle a situation.
Now, here is a little challenge for you. Listen to this short story and try to notice the phrasal verbs.
This morning, I woke up late and got up fast. I put on my clothes, picked up my phone, and went out. On the way, I ran into a friend and we decided to meet up later. At work, a problem came up, but I calmed down and dealt with it. After work, I met up with my friend and we hung out at a cafe. Later, I headed back home, cleaned up my room, and wrote down some new English phrasal verbs. I don't want to fall behind, so I never give up.
How many phrasal verbs did you hear? If you want, go back, listen again, and count them.
And if some phrasal verbs are still confusing, that's okay. You don't need to understand everything today. You will hear these again and again in future episodes.
You can also choose 3 or 4 phrasal verbs from today and use them in your own sentences. You can write them in the comments if you want.
We'd love to read your sentences. It's a great way to practice and see how other learners use the same vocabulary.
Okay, before we say goodbye, remember, if you enjoyed this episode and you want more simple English like this, subscribe to Sidekick English right now.
And like this video, share it with your friends, your classmates, your group chat, your study buddy, your cat. Okay, maybe not your cat.
Unless your cat wants to learn English. We accept cat subscribers.
Thank you for spending your time with us today. You're not just learning random words, you're learning real everyday English.
Keep going, don't give up, and come back for the next episode. We'll be your sidekicks on your English journey.
See you next time.
Bye for now.